now. Is this the first slide? Yeah. Yes. So what we talk about now is a new kind of leader. What are those facets of that leader? Compelling personal histories. So Dr. Davis shared those conversations of beside the tapes. The interactions with Mother Teresa. You would see in some of his slides how, and in the accounts of Dr. Shetty, how Mother Teresa inspired him. But he already had a dream. So there's a compelling personal history behind the whole thing. There's a distinctive profile of belief. Dr. Shetty could have said, like many other doctors, it's not in my power to change it. I can agitate, I can shout from the rooftop, the government is not doing, what can I do? Instead, he's gone out and made this his life's mission. Impressive accomplishments in the face of odds. Narayan Rudayalaya is a case in point. So what do you do? One is reframing challenges. How do you look at the same challenges differently? Adhering to a sense of obligation. How do you give back? That is perhaps how these doctors do it when they go to the camps. And discerning measures of success. So see this. Some have the ability to see that something positive, such as a commitment to a cause or to working with an underserved population, can emerge from a painful and or tragic situation. So now this is very important. Although individuals may say they have no choice but to continue, they of course choose to do so. Because of their deep conviction, these individuals are willing to respond to and act on their obligations. So this is the different breed of doctors who are not just out there to make money and for themselves and for their families, but to actually believe in a nation-building mission. You know, like Dr. Dev, Dr. Shetty could have stayed back in the places where they studied, where they worked. He started his career in Ireland. The point that he came back and he continues to serve and goes to the remotest village is out of this sense of obligation. Sorry. Yep. Sorry. We just jumped. Yeah. Yes. So basically these are four kinds of NGO leaders. Paternalistic, like father figures or elder brother figures. Perhaps there is a little bit of that in Dr. Shetty also. Activists, people who lobby. Dr. Shetty is a great lobbyist. He actually petitions the state government, the federal government. In England, he works with the National Health Service. So in that way, he kind of channelizes government policies in a way that favors the needs of the people he wants to serve. So that is activism, that is lobbying. So in that sense, managerialist. We saw a little bit of that in this guy, what's his name? Jaju. So, but here also we see it, the way he's managed costs, the way he's managed to communicate. So the slide that you saw, managerial skills and communication, cost optimization, the whole thing, to make a model out of it without depending either on private donors or on the government. So management of resources, of human beings, the way Dr. Dev talked about how to develop a second rank of doctors who can really serve. That whole program with IGNU that he was talking about. All that is here. Without that, a lot of these scaling up interventions won't happen. And last but not least, it's catalytic. MRHF is not exactly NH. It's probably the next cycle beyond NH. But that's already been catalyzed by NH. So that is also in a way a kind of fallout of what Dr. Shetty has done. So this is a little bit of the description of these people. So you can see it. So here we talk about this, very important, because without this it won't work. Instrumental ability to manage organizations, establish reliable systems and appropriate structures, and manage a diverse workforce with established roles and responsibilities. So this is where probably Narayan Rudayalaya is a great success. There may be other NGOs with a lot of passion, a lot of dedication, commitment, but unless you have this, unless you can harness your resources effectively and optimally, you won't get to this kind of thing. So this is the going from the further thing. This is what Dr. Dev was talking about, the wider world view. He said that at that point in time, he didn't know that Dr. Shetty was capable of this. But this is exactly what it is. A longer term strategic view, balancing tough decisions about strategic priorities with organizational values and identity. So he was telling you how he pushes his managers so often, much against their wishes, to do what is considered impossible. Yeah? So their success as change agents depends on their ability to delegate work to talented colleagues. Remember that slide, that a man is as powerful as the team he heads. He was quoting Dr. Shetty on this slide. So freeing time to engage actively with external stakeholders and partners. Look at the number of health camps, look at the lobbying interventions, look at all the television interventions that Dr. Dev is doing. You saw the magazine that is being done by the villages. All of that is part of this. Building coalitions and strategic alliances. It's not easy to work with villagers who have never been exposed and who are suspicious of city doctors. That whole bit which I think he covers fleetingly, I think maybe Dr. Dev, in conclusion, maybe you can talk about how different it is to work in the Indian village. Maybe just a quick word, we don't have time, just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think the important thing is actually to engage with them. That is very, very important. Because as Professor Mittal has mentioned, just going there with a stethoscope in your hand, people are very suspicious. They think that some doctors have come here to take these patients to the city hospitals and get money out of them. So that suspicion had to be broken. So that thing was broken in many ways. I myself play cricket and I am a sports lover. So what I have done is I have actually engaged these children of the villages. We do play cricket there, we play football there when we go there actually. They have huge grounds, so there's no issue. And they are absolutely delighted when a doctor actually is playing with them. So engagement with the children is important, with the youth is important. That I have empowered these boys and girls to do ECGs, to train them to do ECGs. They are absolute stars in these places. And then the villagers at an elderly age group, they are doing their own magazines. So this is how actually we need to engage them in a social way. And I think that is complete health package we should give. It is not only the treatment of the disease, it's actually the mental and the social thing which gives you a holistic health. And that's how I believe MRHA actually is dealing with the villages.
Thank you, sir. So, this is kind of summarizes what you said. Leaders of good NGOs all exhibit this. That was a common feature on your last slide. But they don't have oversized egos. Alright? They know they must share power in order to be stronger forces for good. There is no way you can kind of compete with each other like in a corporation. Then you lose the purpose. They distribute leadership within their organizations and throughout their external non-profit networks. See how much in a distant way Dr. Shetty has kind of empowered and encouraged Dr. Dev. Same within the organization. Empowering others to lead. Leaders of high-impact non-profits cultivate a strong second-in-command, build enduring executive teams with long tenure, and develop large and powerful boards. In fact, Dr. Dev also mentioned, you might have heard that there is, every time he goes, there is a meeting at the end of the day of the foundation. The foundation has a significant population of the village people. So they feel it's their thing. It's not in their eyes, he is visiting, he is the patron. But he may be the motive force, but it is their thing. They own it. So if it goes all India through NH from Moinapur, it still was patented, built and dreamt and born in Moinapur. So that ownership is created there among the villagers. So I think with Ayushman Bharat being launched, this is the question. It's another new journey that just started effectively day before yesterday when the program was launched, with untold consequences irrespective of political dispensation for the future. Thank you. I request you and Jonas to stay back and discuss a little bit of the logistics. And before you go, one second, I have a